Hi, this is Phil from SkiTalk.com. We're going to be doing old school walk around on the 1987 Subaru GL four-wheel drive wagon. You might ask, why is a guy from a ski site doing a walk around on a Subaru? Well, quite frankly, I sold Subarus in 1987, but more importantly, this car is one of the U.S. Ski Team Edition wagons. Now, this was brought to us by Bobby Evans, who was on the U.S. Ski Team back in this era. This was his car. It was in his family for 40 years or so, and brought to me through the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. But this is an opportunity to talk about and bring this car back to life and bring it to skiing events and such. But this is a really cool wagon. Now, we're talking a basic, what we used to refer to as a two-box wagon design. Simple box up front where the engine is, but a nice big box to put our stuff in the back of the wagon. Now, space-wise and cubic volume, we're looking at a little over 60 cubic feet of volume in the back of this car, not unlike a lot of the modern wagons. So we had a lot of efficiency in design back there, especially being Subaru. So now, shape-wise on this is really cool. The back is really straight back here, again, giving us a lot of room in the back. Now, as far as for putting our stuff in the back of the car, I mean, seat-wise, we do have a split fold-down rear seat, which is pretty simple in design. It's not the best design, quite frankly. I'd love to have seen a split bottom. Also, we didn't think about that back in the 80s, but the bottom flips up here, top comes down. And these little tabs up here on top of the seat locks us into the place. So it gives us a nice flat floor back here. If you've got anything in the back here that is not tied down, you've got the metal bottom on the back of the seat here so it doesn't slide forward and hit you in the back there. This comes back up. Seats come down. Now, one of the things you might notice is there is no three-point harnesses in the back. Now, some of you other Subaru aficionados out there can comment when they started adding three-point harnesses to the back of the DL, GL10s, or they'll be referred to later on as the Loyale. I'd be really interested in seeing your comments on that. Now, you'll also notice that the velour in this interior is in really good condition, especially for a 40-year-old car that is pushing 200,000 miles on the odometer. So, come around to the back here now. We'll see that we've got a lot of room back here. Now, with Subaru's compact rear suspension, there's a lot of room between the seats in the back here. Again, one of the ways that we get that massive volume in the back of these cars. What's also nice here is we do have a sub-trunk in the back here to keep additional stuff hidden out of the way. So that's nice to have that. These did come equipped with a rear cargo shade. It's missing from this car. Not uncommon for those to run away and find new homes. But a lot of people like myself, when I got a wagon home, I just put it in the garage anyway. Just tend to get in the way. Back comes down here, and we do have the rear wiper, obviously. Now, if we come around here, Subaru has always been a proponent of safety. We do have our child safety locks here for the back doors. So that's really nice as far as so the little ones don't get out. Then as far as the pillarless window design, that was a Subaru trademark for years. It helped reduce wind noise and also made the car a little bit more aerodynamic, but quite frankly, wind noise over the Subaru horizontally opposed motor really didn't matter much. One of the cool little aspects of it, as far as getting back to the safety, if you happen to have a hand here, shut the door, that pillarless windows design has some flex there, something I always enjoy doing in walk-arounds. Now let's go take a look underneath the hood, because that's where the magic happens with Subaru, and that is with their horizontally opposed four cylinders. What does a horizontally opposed four-cylinder mean? Where couple of end designs, we've got inline motors, we've got V motors. Inline motors, so the cylinders go up and down like this. V motors, cylinders go like that. Horizontally opposed, they are directly opposed to each other. What that does, that allows the engine to sit down very low in the engine compartment, so it helps handling there. It's also a very short engine. So I believe, somebody might correct me on it, but I believe it's only about 14 inches deep as far as the engine. Now, this being a 1987 means it is the last year of carburation in the four-wheel drives. In, I believe, 85, 86, front wheel drives and four wheel drives were carbureted. We did have the turbos in the GL10s. In 87, they went to fuel injection of the front wheel drives. Four wheel drives still stay carbureted, again, making 82 of the meanest Shetland ponies you'll ever come across. And then just over a little over 100 pounds feet of torque. In 1988 is when they went to fuel injection, which brought the horsepower up to 90 horsepower. Big difference in the car. But the carburation on this, again, works really well. It's very simple in design. And the other thing that definitely stands out with this generation of Supers is the spare tires up front. Again, one, it gives us more space in the back. Two, they had all this extra room up here because they have the horizontally opposed motor. Perfect place to keep the motor, keeps it out of the way. And we talk about super safety aspects of it. If you notice these little hooks here on the sides, those actually attach into here. So in a forward collision, you do not have to worry about that hood coming into the windshield. It's got crinkle zones right through here, so that hood is going to buckle up. Now, speaking of the hood, a lot of Subaru owners work on their own cars, and that's a cool aspect they have here is with this prop rod. Yes, before we had more nicer ones here, but this gets us up here nice out of the way, so for working in the engine compartment is really nice and simple. One of the cool aspects which we don't see on a lot of modern cars is you can actually see the ground underneath the engine. So where everything on modern cars is covered by shrouds and such, this one here, again, a ton of room to work on the car. The oil filter is right underneath in the front here. Very easy to access that. Again, this is a shade tree mechanic's dream of a car to work on. Then this comes back out, goes back in our spot here, clips in there, and comes down. Now, other things to notice here is tires. We're back in the 80s here. Low profile tires weren't even consideration until we got to sports cars. We have a 13-inch tire. Lug pattern on is a very unusual 140 by 4, which only two manufacturers, Subaru and Peugeot, use that lug pattern, so finding different wheels is near impossible. But the tire on these is a 185 70-13. I think there's lawn tractors now that have bigger tires than that. So we did not need a lot of tire back then. Again, 82 horsepower, speed limit in 87. The 55-mile-an-hour mandate was still in effect. So we did not need a lot of tire to keep us on the road. So the 185 did great when we got into conditions, off-road, and snow. It cut through really good. Now, in the driver positioning here, again, seat-wise, still in great condition. I mean, look how nice that velour is, and this is before we really even had a chance to get them cleaned up. So, sitting here, and what's really cool, if you've driven newer Subarus and older Subarus, if you close your eyes and reach for something, everything's still pretty much in the same spot. Subaru's been very consistent with that over the course of the years. So we do have our tilt wheel on this here. Air conditioning in this generation of car was optional. They were dealer installed options, so not all the cars came in with them. This one doesn't have it. It has what we refer to as 40-60 air. Is you drive, you put the windows 40% down and drive 60 miles an hour, then you've got your air conditioning. It does have power mirrors, does not have power door locks or windows. That did not come standard until 1988. But what we do have here with the manual transmission is we do have our high and low range four-wheel drive. So it's what we refer to as Mountain Goat and Extreme Mountain Goat. I mean, to find a low range four-wheel drive on a passenger vehicle, near non-existent. Quite frankly, you have trouble finding it on the truck in today's age. So we've got a lot of anemones here, and we would jokingly say you didn't drive these older Subarus, you operated them. They were agricultural in feel, but as you can see, they hold up really well. So we're really excited to bring this car into the fold. It's going to be a great project we work on. Again, I want to reach out and thank the U.S. Ski Snowboard Hall of Fame for making the connection with Bobby Evans on this. We also want to thank Subaru of America. They've been involved in the restoration of this car, bringing it back to life, and also locally, Michael Hull Subaru in Carson City. They're going to be doing a lot of the work. We're going to do some follow-up videos on this, but this gives you kind of an old school walk around on a car. So, any of you guys out here that might have noticed something I missed, please put in the comments. I'm going from 40-year-old memory on this, and sometimes it does get a little foggy. So this is a fun car. Skiing is fun. And remember, folks, let's get out there and let's keep these old girls on the road again.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Deb Armstrong here. And remember, skiing is fun.